Hello everyone, my name is Carla and today I'm here to share with you the 3 key differences about working in a startup versus a well-established company. Let's get to it. The first difference are definitely timings. When you work in startups, everything goes really fast and startups really need to pivot quite fast, quite often, because they really need to find a business model that actually works. Because everything is going so fast, you need to learn and deliver even faster. And depending on your learning process, this might be a good thing. Maybe you learn really fast and you like going at this pace. But for example, when you're in a well-established company, when you're planning a feature, it takes a bit longer and you have some time to process the information. And where you're even planning a new project, this planning can even take years depending on what it's about. This learning allows you to actually take the time to learn what you will be using and really learn at your own pace, without, of course, the company having any negative impact. Because there will be a lot of other people that are supporting you. Which takes us to the point number 2. So the next point is collaboration and community. In a well-established company, there's a high chance that you will be working with a lot of other developers. So collaboration with them will naturally happen. Whether they are on your team or not, at some point you will have to collaborate with them. And this is really great for developers because it's on its own a very good learning experience. In a startup, there's a high chance that you might be on your own or part of a very small team. And on one hand, this is good because it can allow you to make your own decisions, but on the other hand, the learning experience is just completely different. For example, let's say you have a feature or a use case where you need to use, or where you realize that you want to use open source code. In a startup, this decision might be completely up to you or even your team. So you just go for it. There's no more for it. Because there is a high chance that you won't be impacting a lot of users, because startups are usually just, starting. And there's not such a big impact. On a well-established company, this might not even be the case. Since they have already a business model working for them and probably a product working for them, there might be an impact on many other users. So the decision whether to use external code might not be entirely up to you. In fact, if you want to use it, it might involve a little bit of bureaucracy inside of the company, because you would need to really explain why you want to do this and why do you need it. It could also happen that since in the big company there's a lot of other developers, they have already thought of this possible scenario or this possible use case, and there is already either a version of the library you want to use internally supported, or a built-in software that works to solving your own use case. Finally, the last difference, size matters. Yes, startups are usually smaller because they are just starting. Well-established company tend to have bigger groups of people working in different areas, in particular developers. And as a consequence, in a startup, you might end up wearing lots of different hats. Today, you're the backend engineer working on, PHP, Rails, or whatever. Tomorrow, you're doing some front end in React. And then the day after, you have to deploy this whole infrastructure for your systems in AWS, and now you're the DevOps all of a sudden. In a well-established company, your role is very well defined. There's already people in charge of defining the architecture that we're using. If you're a backend developer, you will most likely be doing backend work. And if you're a frontend, then you're doing frontend and dealing with that architecture on your own. Again, this depends really on you and what your style is like. If you like learning fast and like juggling between topics, a startup might be better for you. But if you like being focused in your own task or your own language, your own framework, then a well-established company might be better for you. Whew, okay. Now, those were the 3 differences that I prepared for you guys today about working in a startup versus a well-established company. If I lost the count of how many times I said well-established company and startup, but I really hope this video is useful to you if you're juggling between two companies. You might find your answer here, maybe not. I did some research online, so there are a lot of resources out there, but I also asked some of my friends who I know have been through the same path as me, working in both company types, and we end up coming to more or less the same conclusions. So enjoy the video, hope to see you again, and thanks for watching.